All right, guys, welcome back. Going into the second half here of Drop Frames, where we talk about what we've been playing. Let's start off with Salt and Sanctuary. I think me and Diction, Zeke, have you checked that out at all? It seems right up your alley, by the way.
Honestly, this is the first time I've heard of it, man.
Gotcha. So, Nick, did you get your code through Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he reached out to me. I had no idea this game was coming out either. And Rick Malambry reached out on Twitter and told me about it. I knew the developers, it's Ska Studios, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fanboy for them.
Yeah, they've done some very, would you say obscure is a proper way to talk about it? It's very
their art style is really reminiscent of early Jonan Vasquez comic books, like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Yeah,
that was like,
dude.
so when I first saw the dishwasher show up on Xbox Live Arcade, I was like, this looks cool. And then they made another game called Charlie Murder.
Yeah, I remember Charlie Murder.
One really good game they made, it was one of those $1 games you could get on the Xbox Live Arcade, is called I Made a Game with Zombies in It, and it's just like a top-down twin stick shooter, but the entire time there's a song, this heavy metal song playing in the background where he's just singing about how he made a game with zombies in it, and it's the funniest thing in the fucking world. But yeah, I remember seeing Salt and Sanctuary at PAX East, I think, in the indie booth. And Faustus Eric was like, hey, look, it's 2D Dark Souls. Holy crap, 2D Dark Souls. And I played like for 4 hours the other day, and sure enough, 2D Dark Souls. They nailed it. They nailed it. It's so good.
That is some quality JP boob.
Pretty camera.
Well,
it looks like it looks like the camera's like right here in my fucking face.
Reported.
Anyways, it's kind of an interesting game. Like when I first saw this is the skill thing, by the way.
The skill tree is insane.
I was pretty intimidated.
Skill tree?
It keeps going. It just goes up and up and up.
It's very expansive. And I also feel like that's my one thing I don't like about the game, is that if you like spec wrong or spec something that you don't want to play, there is a way to remove skill points, but you can only remove one at a time. And so it's like you're better off just starting over at that point, like, is what I've learned. Because like I started out strength build, and I was like, oh, I kind of like dex weapons better. But in order to go dex, I would have to like remove all of these plus strength points, and it would have taken forever, and I would have just made a new character. So maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know how long the game is either. I know a bunch of people are already on New Game Plus. The embargo was up to a certain point that I reached in about 4 hours. So take that for what it is. But yeah, other than that, like, let me actually get to some proper gameplay here. It's pretty cool. It's very Dark Souls. Like, these guys are basically the Black Knights of this game. I have to parry these guys with my shield up, which I didn't learn for quite some time, and I just got my fucking ass beat by these guys. Nick, did you ever get to this guy? These like weird Black Knights. They just fucking destroyed me all the entire time. This is just the Knight class, just to start the starting class. You'll eventually see a parry here in just a second.
I freaked out when the first time I was like running away from combat, and they followed me into the room. I thought that they couldn't do that.
Right.
And so I just got backstabbed while I was like, looking through my inventory.
Yeah. There's also traps you could have seen right there on the ground. If you triggered a little wire on the ground, and then a trap like swings down and gets you to about like 10% HP. The other thing too is that, and Nick, you can tell me if you had issues with this as well, a lot of the enemy designs kind of blend in with the world behind you, so it's hard to differentiate between like what actually is an enemy and what's just like a dead body.
Yeah,
and maybe that's on purpose.
Some problem with like depth, I guess. Like maybe they needed some like background shadows or outlines on the characters, to make them stand out and pop out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that only happened to me like a couple times where I was like, oh crap, that's an enemy, because they started shambling towards me.
Right.
Oh, is it PS4 exclusive?
For now, yeah. I think they have plans to bring it to PC, I think. I don't know.
I really hope they do. Like, it seems so ridiculous to keep it a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding you. Like, my fucking PS4 is dusty because I haven't done anything on it for a long time.
Same, dude.
Yeah, a lot of my consoles are dusty. I haven't turned in. Talking about like the Xbox One, I think I've put in 13 hours of play only because of Halo 5 in the past year. Like,
Yeah.
I
I played
got
Tomb Raider.
I got a fucking Xbox One brand new in the box from St. Jude fundraising blah blah prize thing, and I haven't opened it yet.
yeah, there's nothing to
I
play.
literally
Not a
Like,
whole lot
over
of
and
reason
over
to
again.
do it.
It's
Yeah.
Like,
not
I
an
gave away my
Xbox.
PS4 since I already had one,
Mm,
but I was like, I don't have an Xbox One yet, so let's crack it open. And you know what? Never mind.
yeah.
Like most of the
My
good
Xbox
games
is a
for
proprietary
Xbox-
player for Tomb Raider.
That's true. Like that's all they're really good for now. The console exclusives. They're exclusive for a little bit, and then like I got Tomb Raider on PC now, and it's running fantastically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be a whole console war in your chat if we talk about this. But
Well, it's actually really funny though, because if it wasn't for exclusives, if I wasn't a streamer that wanted to play this game for you guys early, then I would not own an Xbox One.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of a weird console.
Yeah.
I mean, Halo and Forza is kind of like, those are the other two games, if you're a fan of those, that you get an Xbox. But from what I've understood, the better Call of Duty experience was PS4 this time. And there was a reason that, like, you know, Call of Duty was at the PlayStation 4 press event, and they're going to be at the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation press event again this year at E3. So, and speaking, we actually do want to talk about E3. Remind me at the end of this, once we've talked about all our games, to bring up E3 because there's some very interesting stuff that we haven't talked about yet. But getting back to this game,
I'm gonna remind you of shit. You want me to do your job for you?
you should.
don't you have sticky notes on Windows that you can just put?
I mean, besides that, Zeke, I don't know what your job is here. So,
Ooh, shots
look,
fired.
I'll fire right back at you, baby. You got to deal with it.
Oh, my heart! Ow!
So the other thing is, there's bonfires in this game,
King shit.
but you can make them different. What are they called? Diction? Is it different sects? I don't know. Like you can make one like a nature sect, and then like
Oh yeah, they're religions in the game, which basically act as like you get certain buffs.
Yeah,
depending
yeah, yeah.
on which religion you follow, and you can change your religion whenever you want to. You just have to find areas where people worship different types of gods or whatnot, deities.
Right.
And then you have to be like, okay, no, I renounce my faith to this person so I can be with you guys. And they're like, all right, cool, you're good.
Yeah.
And then whatever buffs they have, you now have those buffs on your character.
And it also changes your Estus flask, or the equivalent of the Estus flask. So like
Uh-huh.
the normal, I forget what it's called, but the normal one is just like you get healed. The other one is like it's a slow heal, but it heals for more over time than the other one. And then the other one, there's a third one that I found that you get healed for less, but it gives you like a sort of immunity at the end of the heal from damage for like 3 or 4 seconds is what I could muster. So you can kind of like customize a little bit with that as well. One thing that was cool too, in terms of you can go and get a weapon. So you can get this sword right here, and at the nature bonfire, whatever the fuck they're called, you can transmute that weapon to another weapon. And it might be worse, it might be better. But that uses some of the things that you can get from bosses, like the boss, quote unquote, souls. They're called salt in this game. And so then you can turn like your, this weapon into a dex, kind of like almost a samurai weapon, which is what I started using. And they have like much larger weapons. They have 200 weapons that like are almost double the size of your character. And the weapons fight that way in the sense that if someone's right up next to you and you swing your axe, you'll miss because the hit box is like so much larger or so much smaller at the end of the weapon. So
One question:
sure.
is there magic?
Yes. There is.
Like spells?
Yes.
I saw someone doing a mage run, Zeke.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
There's a
I'm
mage
in.
run and a cleric run.
It was Riptide Pow, if you guys know that guy.
Oh, Riptide, yeah, you bet.
He was doing a mage run when I tuned in watching him play.
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't done it yet. It seems pretty complicated. And I think you have to find the spells just kind of like you have to do in Dark Souls, I think.
Sure.
And then you have to, in terms of leveling up, the way that everything's kind of gated is it's either a level 1 or a class 1, a class 2, a class 3, a class 4, a class 5 weapon. And so I'd assume the magic's just like that. Let me actually show some boss fights here. I don't want to spoil too much, but let me just pull up a random boss fight. A lot of platforming too. And there's also some unique platforming in the sense that it's kind of Castlevania-esque. Like I got this one thing where I walked up to this, it's kind of like a totem, and you hold down circle, and then your character reverses gravity, and then you're walking like upside down on the same level. And so there's a lot of like secrets with that. But here's one of the bosses. One thing I noticed is all the bosses is they get lower in HP, start doing more damage, start being more like aggro, and also more frequent in their attacks, which is what you're seeing right here. He just fucking destroys me from full HP.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I got fucking murdered there so many times. That's one of the. Yeah, it says obliterated. That's the other thing too. In Dark Souls, you just lose all your souls if you die a second time, right? You don't pick up your little the little pool of blood, whatever. Yeah, the bloodstain.
Yeah.
In this one, you'll see when I get back to the boss that he's glowing, and so your salt goes on either a mob or a boss, or if you don't die near the boss, it'll spawn a random creature. But right here, he's glowing, so the salt's on him, and if you look at his HP bar, there's 2 little arrows indicating if you get the boss to that HP, you get your souls back, which I just did, so that's why I got 186 back.
Now wait, can you run from the boss?
No, once you're in his room, you're locked in that room.
Yep.
Okay.
Also,
the hard way the first boss.
That's how Bloodborne works. Because you find the demon with the glowing eyes sometimes.
but you have to kill it in Bloodborne. In this, you have to get it to a certain HP.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if it's where you died the previous time that starts it, or if it's just kind of like a third of his life or what.
So if you were to have entered the boss room and just got absolutely murdered right off the bat without getting into that line,
you'd lose it. Yes, you would lose it. There's 2 currencies as well. There's a gold currency and there's merchants and stuff like that. When you die, it uses gold. So I think if you run out of gold, then you just lose. But I've always had like 12,000 gold, and so it doesn't like.
Wait,
I'm never.
Your playthrough is done.
I don't know what happens because you. See, it says a mysterious cleric revives you for 356 gold. So if you run out of gold, I would think that you don't get revived. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never had that much or had that little gold before.
So it's like real life. Like if you have no money, you lose.
Okay,
exactly.
So, yeah, people in chat are saying it just takes a percentage of your gold.
Oh,
so,
okay. Okay. Well, there you go. There's also a hard roll, just like in Dark Souls. There's equipment values. So if you have, if you have 50 max encumbrance and you go to like 25 or whatever, then your roll is a little bit longer and you move a little bit quicker than you would if you had more armor on. It seems pretty great. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna try to finish it.
No, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, the art style is you either love it or hate it. It's been pretty conflicting, I think, in chat. The other thing too, in Diction, you could tell me if this happened in your chat. It got very, very. It was very strange seeing, and I don't know if it was like Dark Souls purist versus just like people that enjoy games, but like someone would be like, "Yeah, this is just a Dark Souls clone." And then someone would be like, no, you can't just say that. Like, this is more than Dark Souls. And then it started this huge fight that lasted the entire time of me streaming. And I've seen that in every chat.
I didn't see that in my chat. See any arguments there. And it's like, I don't know. I think I read like something somewhere about how like there are more and more games coming out that are called Dark Souls like, like a roguelike.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because it's a really cool concept and they're really awesome games and they're challenging and rewarding at the same time. More games should try to be like that. So I feel like, I don't know, it's like, it's one thing to make another MOBA, but it's completely different if you're doing your take on the Dark Souls type gameplay. I think that's cool and people should aspire to do that because it's a really cool genre,
Could not agree with you more. The world would be a better place with more games like Dark Souls. Like I'd love for that. I'd love for Dark Souls to get established a name for the genre and then like that genre of games we just get a bunch of. I mean, there's when a game is so good it basically defines its own genre. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a lot more of those.
How about frustrating action RPG? Say FAR.
Brutal action RPG. Or something along there. I mean, but I mean
it's called a barb. That's what the barb is.
It's funny you say that, Diction, because when I'd never played Dragon's Dogma before that remake came out recently, and people kept telling me like, oh yeah, it's like Dark Souls, it's like Dark Souls. And then I ended up playing it for like 30 hours, and I was like, this isn't really like Dark Souls.
It
Like,
just from like
it's a little bit, but
from the
not,
untrained eye, it looks like it might be because it's like the same camera angle and like art style ish, But yeah, no, it's definitely not.
But it's funny because now when a game comes out like this, where it's like, yes, it is like a 2D Dark Souls. Like you can say that sentence, and A, I know I'm interested, and B, it's like I know it'll be good, and it'll be like the bosses will be meaningful, and there'll be character customization and lots of different weapons. Like there's all these things that come with that have done well. It's like it's going to be a good game. It's going to be fun. Like I can't wait to play this game. I'm really excited. I really hope there's going to be an announcement about a PC thing coming soon because I don't really want to break out my PS4. But if I have to, I probably will.
Wow, so there's actually a lot of bosses I haven't seen. I've killed 6? No, I've killed 5. And there's about 20, it looks like. So there's a lot of bosses in the game. I had no idea it was that big.
Wow.
Which is great. Like that seems really cool.
Yeah.
I definitely want to play more of that. I think Zeke, it's right up your alley. Like you totally have to play
No, it
this.
looks fucking amazing. I'm definitely like interested.
Yeah, and you could tell. I don't know if this was the PlayStation guys telling these guys or whoever the idea was to put it out now in between Dark Souls 3 launch. Great time for this game to come out because everyone's fucking like, I can't wait for Dark Souls 3. This is a great filler to play in the meantime because it's not a huge. I don't think it's a 30+ hour game. I think it's around like a 15-hour game. So
right. It's like easily beat it and then
yeah. You can see a little bit of
plus if they want to.
Yeah, and there is a new game plus. Like I don't know what's different in it or if it's just harder or what, but I know a lot of the Soulbrand guys have been playing it.
And it's fully released now. I mean, you can just buy it.
Yeah, you can just buy it. I think it's let me see how much it is, just so we can reference that. PlayStation Store. I think it's $17.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah, let me look. It is loading. PlayStation Store is so fucking slow. It's $17.99, so $18.
Okay.
Which is great.
That's a good price.
It's an awesome price. Yeah.
People keep talking about Dark Souls 3, and now it's officially less than a month, and it's just like,
It's true.
oh man,
It's true.
I'm getting so excited for this game. I'm almost more excited to see how Twitch responds to Dark Souls 3 than I am like it's gonna be.
In what
great.
sense? In terms of viewership?
In terms of just the hype. Like when Souls games, like when Bloodborne hit, dude, it was like a microcosm explosion on Twitch, and I think Dark Souls 3 is only gonna be bigger. So it's gonna be really fun. Dark Souls 3 is one of those games that brings. There's very few games that brings casters from every place on Twitch. Some of these games just bring everyone together to one place for this little magic moment, and Dark Souls 3 is going to be one of those games.
Hey, Diction, I'm gonna make a new rock band, and I wonder if you want to be in it, and I'm gonna name it Microcosm Explosion.
I'm in. Can I play like the triangle?
You can. Absolutely. Hello, Cleveland. We are Microcosm Explosion. Ding, 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 ding.
It's just all triangles.
Yeah, I got a big one like. Pang, pang, pang.
Jeez.
Sorry, that's what I heard when you said that. It's like Microcosm Explosion. That's like a high school band.
I think I'm more interested to see what happens in terms of the fucking fact, and we've talked about this a billion times, but the fact that there's a staggered release for this game in fucking 2016 is so goddamn aggravating that it's gonna like split Twitch in terms of who plays the Japanese version, who plays the US launch version, all that shit. It's just fucking crazy. Like, just don't fucking do that, man. It doesn't mean you can't even use the excuse that they're a Japanese developer. No, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Just release the goddamn game globally at the same fucking time. There's no reason for it to be staggered. I don't understand that. And I don't think they've ever said why it's staggered at all either. So
that JP, what you just said is the part that probably confuses me the most.
Yeah.
It's what, when you think of it from a big company perspective, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Like they do the exclusives, all this stuff is so they can sell more product and make more money. How is this release pattern going to be beneficial for anyone?
For the company, it's for people who will buy the Japanese version to get it early and then buy the English version so they can understand what they just played.
You think that's why?
I mean, it makes sense
I
to
mean,
me.
Maybe.
It
maybe
seems-
they're expecting people to buy 2 copies. That's valid. But I mean,
The only excuse I could see them having that would be 100% valid, and the only one, there's no other excuse for this, is that they had to wait on localization for, like localization to go through for the non-Japanese version. But
I think
the shitty thing is, people got access to the fucking game on Monday. People have a review copy of Dark Souls 3 that's in English as of this Monday. So, like, why the fuck is that game not coming out in fucking 8 days globally? Like, I've been told it's not a press version, a debug version. So I don't know what the fuck that means.
I
But,
really
like,
think Chad nailed it though. I think the real reason behind this is going to be when the US version releases, the creators of Dark Souls are going to step up and say, guys, we just want to make it clear and make a public announcement. A streamer on Twitch by the name of Man vs. Game paid us $50,000 to hold the release off, and that is why he now averages 70,000 viewers on Twitch.
I was telling him the same exact shit last week on Fandom. The same exact shit. I was like, so how much did you pay them to make sure that you had first digs at this game on all levels? Because you speak
current
and
guess
read
is
Japanese.
50,000, but maybe a little higher.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I wonder I bet you he peaks 100K on launch day.
It's gonna be crazy to see what happens, man. I'm super excited for Man. That's his thing. Like Dark
Right.
Souls is his thing. Everyone knows it's his thing. So it's gonna be regardless of what happens, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, as someone who was sub to Man a long time before I even started streaming, you know, I can't wait to see what he does with it. So it's gonna
Yeah.
And it's going to be open chat.
Yeah, he's doing open chat. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Is he crazy? Oh, okay. I was gonna
He's
say,
actually been having his chat open a lot more to speak specifically to that, but I doubt he'll have it open chat. He's still I think he's probably the most offended by spoilers of any Twitch streamer I know, so he'll probably have that shit locked down. He probably wouldn't have notifications.
Might even not look at chat.
No, he's not going to have notifications, I would think, on stream.
You actually just brought up something really interesting. What's going to happen to all these early review copies? And if there is a twist in Dark Souls 3, how out is it going to get before release? And here's what's even crazier. Is it going to completely ruin the US release if there's any there's never been any big twists in Dark Souls 3. The whole thing's being convoluted anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like if there are any big twists, like everyone's going to know them by the US release. No question.
No, everyone's going to know everything by the US release.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think
hard for us that are like on blackouts. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't want to see the fights, want to play it blind.
Yeah, we talked about it on Fandom last week. Like, Man's played the first 3.5 hours of the game, he said, and he fought 4 or 5 bosses, and most of those bosses are bosses that you've seen, so I don't know, like, what else is... No one knows, like, what else is past that yet. But everything, I think, that's been out there is very early game stuff.
I haven't even seen a trailer yet, man. I haven't read an article, haven't seen a trailer. And you know, I was just sitting here talking about wanting to watch Man, but I'm not even going to be able to do that. Like maybe for a few minutes at a time, but
Yeah.
I'm staying 100% away from it. And I know a lot of other casters are too.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll see. It's fucking stupid, the staggered release. And it's not even like a week, it's fucking 3. It's just the worst. It's just the worst. So I still don't know if I'm going to play it next week or if I'm going to wait. I haven't decided yet.
I'm officially 1,000% committed to the US side. Like yeah.
I think I'll probably do, when Dark Souls 2 came out, I played the console version and I got probably, I don't know, 10, 15 bosses in, and then I just stopped, and then I waited a month for the PC version, and then I played the PC version full. Because like even by then, for a channel my size, I'm not going to be like getting new viewers for streaming Dark Souls 3 first. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I would get much better viewership and much better much better growth if I just streamed it after kind of everyone.
Much better.
Little slip there.
Saying that current
No,
people
honestly,
are not good
I
enough,
think
they're
much
JP.
better. I think much better people would be like much better community-driven people in the chat rather than
backseaters.
Yeah, because like if I'm streaming it right at launch, you're just gonna get like the people that want to see it that have never been to your channel that are just like complete
It's like the
fucking
Division,
assholes.
dude.
Yeah,
It's exactly
yeah.
like what happened with the Division.
Exactly, 100%. So, I don't know. I'm still torn. I guess I'll make a decision
To
soon.
counter your point a little bit, though, anyone that averages over 1,000 viewers on average can break into releases. Like,
It depends on when they stream.
after the first 24-hour big leaguers have petered out and are sleeping, like if you can jump in at the right point right behind there, you'd be just fine.
I will say though,
I'm gonna have a huge amount of problems streaming Dark Souls 3 at the beginning. Huge amount.
I will say though, it's very, very different when you're going against someone who probably is going to do like a 24-hour stream for the launch of the game. Like, I think that's one thing that happened with Division 2 with Lyric's 24-hour stream is everyone's numbers pretty much stayed exactly where they were the entire time of his 24-hour stream. And then when he ended, Summit picked up everyone else's viewers. And then Summit was streaming for like 16 to 17 hours. And then when he ended, Gathalion was picking up a lot of those viewers because he was streaming the entire time that they were all streaming. So like, it was a weird viewer drop off onto the next stream, like the next top stream that would happen. So I think that's probably going to happen a lot. And I don't know, like, I think Lobos will probably have some pretty good viewership. I think Lyric's going to definitely stream it. I think Dan's Gaming will be really good. Cole, you'll probably be up there in the top 5. Trying to think who else.
There's a select group of Dark Souls streamers that completely skyrocketed when Scholars of the First Sin came out.
Yeah,
like completely. The Elijah's. I don't know how to say his name properly. Elijah's.
Like I always call him Elijaz.
Elijaz? I've never even heard of him.
Lobos, you just mentioned, is going to be huge. There's a couple other speedrunners that we're literally just going to see zeros added to the end of their average viewer count.
These are all on Soulbrand, that team? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was talking about when Scars the First Sin came out. Like it just exploded on their channels. So I think we're going to see that same thing happen when Dark Souls 3 comes out. The kind of Dark Souls community is going to go find their favorite speedrunners, find the favorite people that just play the game all the time, and we're just going to see them just right to the top of the list.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Again, that's one of my favorite things about new releases, just watching to see what the trends are on Twitch. So
yeah.
We shall see. What is there, Zeke? What have you been playing? He said he played a bunch of games on Fucked Up Friday last week.
Yeah. Well, just to get out, like I finished the Game of Thrones, Telltale game for Telltale month, and I didn't know it was 6 episodes long because most of those are like 5.
Yeah,
so
it's the only one that's 6. I think.
And I went, oh fuck, there's an extra one. Damn it. But I played through it and. I don't know, man. Like I could compare it to Tales from the Borderlands as far as how good it is, but it's just a completely different, feel to it because Tales from Borderlands had a lot of humor and really cool, like, tongue-in-cheek, actiony, fun moments. Whereas Game of Thrones was just fucking brutal. Like it's awful. Like you're like, oh okay, like oh god, what did
Yeah, everyone just dying every 5 seconds.
Well, and then, like, god damn it, man, that game elicited like some real anger emotions when characters would come up, like the bastard of Bolton, Ramsay Snow, is like the most hated fucking dude in all the Game of Thrones like lexicon.
Yeah. Save
maybe I can't remember his name now. The king.
Joffrey.
Joffrey, thank you. Save maybe Joffrey. Like they're like neck and neck for most hated. But every time you came on screen, you're like, God damn it, motherfucker! I'm gonna get my hands on you. But no, it was. I had a blast playing it. Had many drinks while playing it because of the drinking words. But it was fun, and I'm excited to move on to the next one, which was voted as The Walking Dead. So, and I played like I think maybe 1 or 1.5 episodes of The Walking Dead and never picked it back up again. So I'm excited to see like if I was like completely wrong about it because everyone seems
of the first Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, how far did you get? You said 2?
Like maybe episode and a half.
I'm trying to. It's been like years since I've played that game. I want to say it's pretty slow until like. I mean, it follows the trend of like being pretty slow until like the 3rd or 4th game in the in the Telltale series. Like that's kind of true for all those games. And then it ends on like such a high fucking note, like a super goddamn high note, that it's worth seeing through till the end.
Yeah, I'm starting that after we're done today. But I played those and that was about it. And I think that's nothing else new except for the Fucked Up Friday games and Diction. We can talk about those.
Yeah, what'd you guys play?
Played some Move or Die.
Move or Die, which is
Is that the
which
first
is one
one?
of those games where you will yell a lot if you're a competitive dude.
Oh yeah. There was lots of screaming involved.
Here's
And
Move or
then
Die.
Shell Shock Live is cool as well.
Well, explain what the fuck Move or Die is. Like, what,
Okay, Move or Die.
what's going on?
It's exactly the title. So you've got to keep moving, or else your health drains over time. And jumping directly up also drains your health. So, and then every stage is a different challenge where you have to avoid something or race each other, hurt each other. Basically, it's King of the Hill. So whoever is the last one alive.
Yep, and you're looking at my face right now, and I'm wondering what the fuck, and I forget that you have to move.
You can see his health going down right there. He just died.
You get you have to keep moving along the floor because I was jumping. I was like jumping, like fuck, I'm moving. You think you're moving? That doesn't count as moving. So I was like, what the fuck killed me?
Yeah,
you actually have to like, keep your feet on the floor.
And there's they added mutators, so that's why all of our character skins are swapping.
Yeah, I was wondering what the fuck that was.
Yeah, so it's like it's made to like make you mess up even further because you don't know what's going on.
Oh, because you lose track of your character, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the mode where you have to touch someone to get rid of the bomb that's strapped to you.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just a bunch of random mini games. It's a great party game. It's fantastic. I can see it being like a good couch game. You know, like sit down.
Does it have local co-op as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Cool.
And there is so much opportunity, especially in this game, for shit talking, and it gets like fucking awesomely out of hand. And you start like you start cursing that one person who keeps winning over and over again.
Oh yeah, the first time we played it, Max was really bad, and he was like, he gets super salty whenever he's not doing well in games. Yeah. And so like after we played it the first night, he was like, I don't want to play that anymore. We're not playing that game anymore. And then of course we do. And the next time he played, he won like the first match. And so I was like, okay, I guess this game's pretty good. All right, it's fine.
It's very Max. All right, so what was up next?
I think we did Shell Shock. Yeah, Shell Shock, which is turn-based tank shooting game, kind of like Worms.
Whoa.
If you ever played that.
Yep.
And
it's Worms and cannon fodder.
But the thing is, everyone takes their turn at the same time. So once everyone hits fire, it's just an orgy of explosions all over the screen, and it's really glorious. And there are like different things will pop up, like that purple circle bounces missiles off of it,
and that's random.
The maps can't be randomized, yeah. And you can blow up chunks of the map to get closer to your enemies and stuff like that. There's like 85 different types of weapons in it too. Like there's a ridiculous amount of weapons to do different things.
Oh, and it's really fun to like not know. Like, and this is not me being sarcastic. I'm serious. Like you go through like, oh, what the fuck's cactus?
Yeah. You're just all experimenting. Like, okay, what is this gonna do? Let's find out. It reminds me of that old Bill Hicks bit where he's talking about like all the new like ordnance that the American Army has in the Iraq War, and he's like, pull up G13, let's see what that does. Fuck yeah, let's try G14.
Do you choose your weapons, or are they just random?
Yeah, I think it gives you a random loadout. You always have like certain weapons that are always going to be there, but then like as the match goes on, you'll just get new ones that show up every so often.
How much? And I'm sure there's a lot of games like it, like people saying Pocket Tank, Scorched Earth, like that kind of shit. I'm sure there's tons of games like it.
It's cool, and like the amount of multiplayer, I think you could have like 32 person matches or something.
Holy shit.
You have a lot of people on screen at once. Yeah, but it's really fun. I just like someone sent me a code. It's like $7 on Steam right now. Totally worth it. Really addictive.
Nice.
And yeah, I want to play more of that on stream because it was fun. Even when you die and you're sitting there and you have to wait for the match, it's still really fun to watch and see what happens because you never know who's going to end up dying.
Sure.
And I do like that it's not turn-based, that it's everybody go now.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, let me skip ahead.
When you score a direct hit, it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's just like Worms. Yeah.
It's a lot of guesswork. It's more guesswork than Worms, honestly, because it doesn't give you a trajectory. You just have to guess where it's going to lob to.
I was just during a break. I saw golf for a second.
The thing is, though, okay, so whenever you shoot, After the next round, it shows like a little like arc of where it was. So if the enemy doesn't move, then you can kind of adjust course.
Gotcha. Just like
The next
Worms,
one.
yeah. Sounds very Wormsy, which is not a
it's
bad
good.
thing.
Oh yeah, and then we played some golf with friends, which is it's just mini golf, pretty much. It's great.
It's fantastic.
It-
It is.
it-
I love golf.
At this point, I was too drunk to play it properly, though.
Well, I saw that it took an hour to get into games, so in fucked up Friday terms, that means that everyone was real drunk and
Yeah.
Yeah, real drunk and talking to the chat and you
Yeah.
know like acknowledging all the shit you forgot to acknowledge the last game. And
Is this on Steam?
This is on Steam too. I think it's only like $5. It only has 2 courses at the moment,
Oh,
but they're gonna add more. It's early access. I'm
early
pretty
access.
sure it's like dirt cheap.
gotcha.
and this is like real golf. I mean, you get fucking pissed
That's $6 too.
if you can't make it. You're like, come on, fucking get it out of the hole.
It's another friendship ruining game for sure.
Sure.
It really.
Is Renee as good at this as she was at GTA Golf?
Yeah, she's pretty good at this.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, and also, this you can. It's not turns. You go whenever.
Yeah, you
And
go at the
it's
same
just
time.
the hole is over when everybody's done, or
Oh.
you have the stroke limit, I think, of 10.
Can't do the is there collision detection between the different golf balls?
No, the balls don't. They phase clip through each other.
Gotcha.
Yep.
They should have a setting where you can have collision. That would make it more fun.
Oh man, you could knock someone's ball like way off course.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys play anything after this? Did you go to Cards Against Humanity or
I think
something?
we
That's
did
what it
Cards
was.
Against Humanity. Yeah.
Still one of the best games to play with friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
for sure. Zeke, anything else that you played on your channel? Just that and Telltale stuff.
Nope.
Saw you played a little bit of Overwatch. Oh, you played the Vermintide DLC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. How is that?
It's well, we actually didn't get to the DLC. Well, yeah, we did. I think we got to a couple of the DLC maps. It's one of those games that I would say is best played with people. Like it's I don't think I'd ever play it single player.
Yeah.
I definitely play it with a group of friends.
You need a solid like communication.
And this motherfucking map. This motherfucking map was the stupidest, toughest because you had these barrels spawn and you have to put them on a ship. You have to crawl. You have to.
Oh,
like,
I've played that map. I hate
walk
it.
across,
Worst.
like jump and get them onto the ship because they're all the way across the map and they spawn like 2 at a time. And I think you have to do 8 of them total. So you
Yeah.
have to fight off the entire horde of this shit. And you can't fight while you have a barrel. And if they hit you when you have the barrel, you have to set the barrel down because it explodes. And you have to wait for another one fucking to spawn.
Yep.
So this was the most frustrating goddamn map. But once we got it, it was so rewarding.
Yeah, when we did it, we paired up in teams. So one person would have the barrel, and someone would watch their back as they dragged it, so they didn't get hit.
Oh, dude, and that's eventually how we did it. We did 2 teams of 2.
Yep. And you can't do that if you've got a bunch of AI bots running around with you because they don't listen.
Huh.
Yeah, I played this with Richard Hammer and Cobalt Streak and Athos 19D.
Cool.
Gotcha. And this, we didn't talk about it that much, but this was for the chrono.gg thing, right?
Yep, they had the Chrono.gg 24-hour sale of the day was Vermintide.
We can talk about that for a little bit if you want.
Like, I think it's normally sells for like $30 and it was on sale for like 18 or whatever.
Oh wow.
Wait, is there a C in chrono for the website?
Yeah, see, like Chrono Trigger.
There you go.
Okay. You faded just as Zeke freaked out on stream there.
Oh, I mean, it happens all the time. People know what they're going to get with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I saw this happen last week, and we talked about it for about 30 seconds, and Total Biscuit is partnered with these guys. The tweet was not negative against them. But, like, what are these guys by themselves? Like, where did this come from? It came out of nowhere, and now, like, everyone's using them. So, Zeke, what's the pitch, I guess, if you have one for them?
What do you mean the pitch? Like the pitch they gave me or the pitch?
Yeah, like what is Chrono.gg? I see that they change their game daily, and that it's cheap. But like, what's the relationship to streamers?
Well, I was reached out to by Richard Hammer, and he said, I know this guy. He was talking to me at a con. He said, we're gonna do this new site called Chrono, and we're talking to streamers. We're gonna start out kind of on a smaller scale, get like some of the more trusted quote unquote trusted streamers that we can partner up and get an affiliate link and all this kind of stuff. And we're going to launch on Monday. And this was, a week ago Monday. And that's and he told me the whole deal. And the whole deal is very straight up, very simple. This site has a deal on an indie game every day for only 24 hours. And they are legit Steam keys. Like, these are not like gray market anything. These are legit Steam keys. These are with full blessing of the devs themselves, as far as I've been told. And as far as, like, if you read the TB, like, big, long tweet longer thing that he wrote, this is in conjunction with them, and they're fully on board. And I can completely understand why, because it's only 24 hours. It doesn't last very long. And then there's a new game every day. And also the biggest reason why I wanted to be involved with it was because I could, like, extend deals to, like, my viewers and shit. They'd be like, Broforce was the first game, normally sells for $15. For 24 hours, it was on sale for $5. So, it's beneficial. I mean, and of course you get like a percentage or whatever.
Sure.
If they use your affiliate link, just like Green Men Gaming, just like fucking everything else.
Right.
But I just think the best part about it is you can give your viewers savings on good indie games that are really deep cut, like discounts, and it supports indie developers.
Yeah, I saw it was mostly indies.
I like as well.
It's kind of interesting when it says watch someone play, like, it'll pull up YouTube videos fine, but I guess when you click live stream, I just searched no one's playing Surgeon Simulator right now on Twitch, so it says no stream available at this time. I wonder if they go, like, I've never seen the site before today, but I wonder like how that pulls up. They'll feature you if, like, you say you want to support this. Like, do you get a list of, like, games or, like, a calendar or something so you could see ahead of time?
Yes, but we're not allowed to tell what's coming up.
Oh, yeah,
that's
of course.
part of the hype.
Sure. Okay.
It's like, we know what's coming, so we can plan around it, or take a look at it and see if we like it first. But we're not allowed to, like, that's part of, like, the deal was, like, you can't say what's coming up because we want it to be hype. We want it to be like, oh shit, here comes surprise, the day is blah.
Makes sense. They're dropping bombs every day.
Exactly, kind of, yeah.
It's a cool initiative. I wonder how long till GTA tries to buy them. That's what I wonder when any of this shit pops up. Is like, well, how long till GTA?
Don't worry, JP. It benefits the developers. G2A ain't interested.
So we'll see. I don't know. Was all this done? And again, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, Zeke. But was all this done, like, contractually, or you just jump in with whatever game you want? Like, how is that all broken down? Is it like an actual sponsor to the stream? Like, what? How would you break into that, or break that down? I guess
you're talking about what's my relationship to them.
Yeah.
Okay. It was actually, that's one of the best part of, like, on my end, like, solely, was one of the first things he said was like, hey, if you like the game, you play it, be my guest. If you don't, it's going to be a new game tomorrow, so whatever. It was extremely loose. It's like, you don't have to play shit. You can just have the button if you want. And there's like no anything that says you have to play a game every week or anything like that. It's just like, hey, if you like the game, I mean, it'd be good if you played it, because then you can get your viewers a discount on a game that you already like and are playing. And also, it's beneficial for you because, of your percentage or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Interesting.
But yeah, it's really, really loose. Like, I haven't played a game
since
Vermintide yet.
Cool. We'll see what comes of that, which is chrono.gg. I wonder if they're ever going to get... You said it's mostly indies, right? Have they spoken publicly about getting any, like, AAA titles? Or
not as far as I know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Anything else that you've been playing the past week besides Vermintide, all the games on Fucked Up Friday, and the Telltale stuff?
I was gonna make a dumb joke, but no, I haven't.
Okay. All right. We talked a little bit, Diction, about what you've been playing. Is there anything else besides Salt and Sanctuary and the Silent Hill Wii travesty?
It wasn't a travesty.
Not your stream. I'm
expected.
saying the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played a lot of Hitman on Saturday, the new game.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's really easy to target it because of the whole episodic thing from the outside. But once you actually get in and see what they're doing, it makes a lot of sense. And like even I think like today they put out new content, like new contracts. So like it's basically you have like the 2 tutorial missions and then this Paris mission, which is your first actual mission where you can kill people, and you have 2 targets, and it's a sandbox like what people wanted from the last Hitman game. It's all a big giant sandbox where you just figure out ways to kill them and get away scot-free. And you can go back and do it over and over and over again in different ways. And so on top of that, they have these things called they have loadouts. So you can go in with like different stuff. You want to bring a bomb with you instead of bomb sword, you can do that. If you want to just take your like the wire to choke people, you can do that too. And then the more you do it, like, well, you unlock new things. So I unlocked a sniper rifle that I can have hidden in the map for me to get and grab and use later in the game. Or I can unlock some other type of weapon that the agency leaves in like a package for me to get. And so, yeah, it's really, really cool. I had a lot of fun, just like getting goofy with it, really, like seeing all the ridiculous stuff I could get away with. It's not easy. It's not an easy game, too. It's really, really difficult to try to do something like the harder types of assassinations.
I saw that it was a sponsored stream, and you streamed for 4 hours. Were you able to play the entire episode 1 within those 4 hours, or like how much game is in there?
I beat the mission within the first hour. Like the first time, there's a lot of mistakes and failures and me starting over. And so I beat it one way, and then I just kept going back and trying new ways to infiltrate and disguise myself as different types of people. There's also this mechanic called opportunities where you overhear conversations or you read something and it opens up opportunities that you can follow around the map. And if you do those things correctly, they get you access to your targets that you normally wouldn't have if you had just gone in and tried to do it your own way. So I did like several of the different opportunities. Didn't even know you could hang off ledges and find and like climb pipes to get to different parts of the map without people seeing you until like 3 hours into it. So that added a whole new strategy for me. But yeah, for it being like a monthly thing where they unleash new missions every month, it's got a hell of a lot of content to keep me satisfied until the next thing drops. Because now I want to go in and try these new contracts where it's like, okay, you have to kill this person with a gun while you're wearing this disguise, or you have to kill them in this room because they have pathing, like the AI pathing, or this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, I dig it. I think it's cool. I can't wait for the next mission. See what they got in store.
Nice. Ko, you checked this out as well, right?
I did. I did a sponsored stream of it on, I think, Sunday morning. And it's kind of interesting because I see where Diction is coming from completely. However, I am on the opposite side of that, where I am someone who I am someone who really enjoyed it. I felt like from a gameplay perspective, it was one of the better Hitmans I've played, and I've played a lot of the old ones. I haven't played the couple last recent ones, but I played a lot of the old ones, and I felt like this new Hitman is really well done. The controls felt tight. I really enjoyed the big map, the kind of showcase map of the intersection. I played through that like 3 times. At first I was a little bit torn about how I liked, what do they call Diction again? Like opportunities or something?
Yeah, opportunities. Yeah.
I was kind of worried about those at first because I felt they were a little bit too hand-holdy. Like it was telling you exactly where to go a lot of times. Yeah. But after I realized how many of them there are and that you can kind of switch between them and stuff, they became a lot more interesting. And the fact that I shot a dude out of an ejection seat was amazing. I absolutely loved that.
Wait, you like killed the guy by shooting him out?
Oh yeah, dude. You rig an ejection seat in a jet fighter, and then you fool the guy into testing him, and then you blast him out of it, and and he literally just flies off, and it's like target killed, and
that's
you see
awesome.
him like
Yeah, that's in like the second tutorial mission.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was so much fun. But overall, like I felt that there's a right way to do episodic, and there is a we want to make more money way to do episodic. And I was very torn on this game on which direction they were going with it. Because I really, like I said, I really enjoyed the game. I loved playing it, but I was done after 3 hours. I was done. Like I'd done all the tutorials. I'd done the main mission 3 times at that point. I'd done 1 player contract. And I, like, at that point I was just like, you know what? I don't want to play this level again. I don't want to do this over and over and over. Like it felt like fabricated content to me.
Yeah, that would
that really bothers me in games.
For me, I'd play it once and sit it. Like I play it once and I never go back to it.
Yeah, but I make sure to mention anytime I say this though that the parts that I did play, I really liked it. Like it was damn good. Like it was probably one of the better Hitmans I've played. I just wanted a lot more of it. I wanted more story. I wanted more direction with the main character. I wanted more connections between the levels. Like I really enjoy the story behind the Hitman and watching Agent 47 kind of live his life as this secret agent. And you just didn't get a lot of that out of this. It was much more about experimenting with the mechanics the game came up with and much less about the Hitman Agent 47 character. So in my opinion, this is a good example of a game that I believe would have been better non-episodic.
Quick question. Is it just me or do the graphics kind of look meh?
They're very
the graphics
plain.
Aren't super great.
Okay.
They're not bad. They're certainly not bad.
I was playing on
I saw the
very
face
high.
capture and it looked funky. It looked like out of date.
Okay,
The
well,
Hitman- the Hitman
JP
franchise-
played a part where I was playing a raid video because Co raided me, and so I played this video that was made in Source Filmmaker. Everyone in the chat was really confused.
No, that happened. I was just kind of like, what the fuck?
That wasn't
Okay.
part of the game. No, that's a video I play when I get raided.
I gotcha. Okay.
No,
All
the
right.
game actually does look gorgeous. I played it on very high settings on my PC, and it was running at like a smooth 50, 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Well, you fucking fooled me, dude.
Yeah, no, I thought that was in the game as well, dude. Yeah, I saw that and I was very confused.
What context? Like someone's holding a baby
But-
and there's a sandwich?
Hold on. To be honest, that my next question was going to be like, does this get rid of like that weird fucking, not like, I guess comic-y Hitman for the better part of the last 2 or 3 games has just been like really weird and extreme in like one weird way. Like they had the nuns that you fought, like the all female nuns that were like the bad guys or whatever. I think that was Absolution, and like just like very extreme in that way. Did they like tone it the fuck down for this game?
I feel like they did. There's still goofiness and comedy that's built into the game, like the supermodel character that you can impersonate.
Yes!
Like, the storyline is really funny. But yeah, nothing that obscure happened.
Okay. Because I just remember like there was like pedophilia and like just some really weird extreme characters in some of the old games.
Well, no, one of the things though that's really cool, and I actually really liked it, is they do have kind of a more subterfuge intrigue angle with this one, at least from what I've seen. Like for instance, and this is a little bit spoilery, just heads up, but at one of the points you can fake being the guy Diction was just talking about. You can fake being that person, and then you're following this completely different person that you aren't there to kill, you aren't there to do anything with, and you're emulating him, and you go talk to one of the main characters, and all of a sudden she's introducing you to this like really crazy plot she has.
Oh yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah, like, and it was like this whole. I thought it was opening another side mission for a second. I was like, what is she talking about? And they're laying these plans for like him to, get in with this daughter of this mogul, and then they're gonna find out this info and get back to her and all this stuff. And I was sitting there going like, okay, like this.
It was like the plot of Zoolander all of a sudden. Where they used supermodels as assassins. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It was really interesting. But no, the short answer is, no. At least in the missions we saw, there was none of that like larger than life ridiculousness. There was none of that. It was a fashion show, so of course it was ridiculous.
There's a lot of
they've had that before, I think.
Like hilarious in the makeup room. There are these makeup artists that are like super sassy, and they're just like talking shit about all the models while they're standing there. Yeah, and then every so often one of the models will like throw up into a a trash can.
Jeez. Okay.
And I gotta say this. There was the ambient dialogue in this game, 10 out of 10.
It's great.
There was more than a couple times when I would hear two people starting to converse, and I would just stop, like I drop everything and listen. And there were a few of them that were hilarious.
Yeah.
Like these two soldiers were like, one of them was talking about, yeah, you know, and I know this stuff about models, and you know, I read this book, and the other soldier's like, wait, you read a book on modeling? And the guy's like, no, my wife got it for me. He's like, let me get this straight. Your wife got you a book on modeling that you then read. And he's like, well, you know, it said some stuff. He's like, dude, I saw you with a Merce last week. Okay. Like, I was just sitting there like, we would have missed all of this. Like, this is hilarious. And so again, the game quality is hell, but it's a good example of how not every game works as episodic.
Yeah, I'd say like wait until like maybe summertime when there's like 3 or more missions in there, and then pull the trigger on it. Unless you're like if you're really aching to play a sandboxy Hitman game like Blood Money, then they did it. Like they did it for you.
Not only that, Diction, this is what I'll say. If you enjoy Hitman more for the gameplay and less for the levels, story, and stuff like that, then you'll probably have a really good time in this game. Because not only does it give you a lot of different ways to play the same level, but with the contract system, players can create their own levels or their own things. Like, that's the whole point of the contract system.
Their own hits.
These hits.
Oh.
So there is, you know, they have this really well-developed, really well-defined big sandbox level, which is the one you're watching now. And then you can go back and do hundreds of different contracts in that level.
It's so like Mario Maker.
Like, for instance, I was just talking, and I was just looking at Skype, and I just learned that like Serious Gaming, you guys know them, they've spent 24 hours in this.
Wow.
24 hours. I was done in 3, and I was done. Like, hey, I'm ready for the next one.
That's what I would have been like, yeah.
But some people can get huge amounts of gameplay out of this if that's their thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I like doing contracts and Absolution. They were fun. So basically what you do is you go through the level, and then you kill your targets and get out of there alive in a certain way, and then that creates, like, that means someone has to do it the exact same way you did it. But you can't create the contract unless you can actually pull it off. Just like Mario Maker, you can't submit a level that you can't beat.
Interesting. Well, I'll definitely check that out, but I'm gonna wait till it comes out with more than one episode. But yeah.
Unless I have pressing reason, I am going to wait until they're all out before I play it again.
Cool.
There may be a reason to play it earlier, but yeah.
Sure.
Again, that's another one of those franchises that I've never played a single second of. I've never played.
I think, you know how I was talking about how Cohh described it as being like larger than life? I think you would actually be into that, Zeke. Like, they do some really weird, like the people that you kill in that game are like, they make sure that you know that they are bad people.
Yeah.
By doing some like really fucked up shit
around their neck and a chain or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, they're just completely fucking terrible people. So
like, it shows like a picture of Hitler with like a thumbs up on their shirt.
yeah. Stuff like
Tattooed
that.
to their chest and a swastika on their forehead. Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
Diction, anything else on your channel you've been playing? You want to talk about?
Nothing extremely. I got some stuff on the docket. Sundays I like to do, like, try to play through a whole game if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do Condemned 2 Bloodshot.
Oh, that's a really good game.
Is
that the one that has
awesome.
the bear in it?
Yeah.
Oh god, the fucking bear! I remember
That part terrified me and my friend Rico when we played through it.
I've never played the game, but I've seen the bear part, and I was like, yeah, that
it's
game's
a great
terrifying.
game. The first game's worth going through and playing again. Don't do it on PC though, because it's buggy. It's really buggy. But yeah, I really wish it's one of those franchises I really wish they would continue doing more games. It's just the combat's so fun and brutal, and it's genuinely like unnerving, and it's like Seven. It's like playing Seven. Like, the serial killers, and they're like really creepy, and they do weird fucked up shit. But yeah, that's something I'm gonna be doing.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Cool. Cohh, we talked about Stardew. You've still been playing that. We talked about Hitman. Still been playing that. Still been playing the Cohhing for your afternoon streams, from what I can tell.
Yeah, man.
But what's new is Deus Ex. You started your Deus Ex playthrough.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude. Okay, when I started my Deus Ex thing, I was a little worried. I was like, you know what? This is a throwback game. I was gonna be happy to hit like 4 or 5K. It was one of those games where when you stream it, you're like, I will be happy if my followers aren't in the red when I'm done. You know, like this is for me. This is a me game.
Yeah.
And I was playing it with the revision for the first time.
What does the revision do?
Okay, so the revision came out at the end of last year, and what it does is it's like a remaster. It's basically like 95% of the main game, but they also added in some content that wasn't there originally. They added in some new 3D models. They changed and updated a lot of the music to higher quality, and they fixed a lot of the bugs. They did a bunch of stuff, and I didn't really know what was the huge part of it going in, but I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to try it. I want to replay it. Let's do it. So it turns out the revision makes a lot of significant changes. And in fact, there were entire sections of levels that are there that weren't there in the right version. Not only that, but it streamlines all the textures are higher level. All the resolution stuff works, adds a ton of new options, more key bindings available. It's really crazy because a lot of the discussion we've been having in the channel during this playthrough is that this game with the revision mod, even now, rivals many release games like within the last 10 years.
And what context?
In context of what you can do,
how
expansive it is, the game mechanics, the level of detail paid to attention by the devs, the quality of level design, the quality of item placement in levels. Like there's a reason that this game has stood the test of time. And it's been, for me, I haven't played Deus Ex in years. It's kind of holds a special place for me because back when I was in my like dark ages of streaming, when I was considering quitting Twitch, I tried to stream Deus Ex and it was a complete failure, to put it bluntly. Double-digit viewers, lost followers every day that I streamed it. So it was a very big deal to me to come back, stream Deus Ex, and I'm on day 2 of streaming it today. Both days have passed 10,000 viewers, gotten multiple hundreds of followers additional. People drop in the channel all day going, I can't believe someone's streaming this. This is so awesome. And it's been like this giant echo chamber of people that have played it, re-experiencing it and enjoying it. More importantly, and this has made me like so happy, is the amount of people that have said, I've never heard of this game. This looks awesome. I'm going to buy this now. And every time someone says that, I just go, like, a little bit more of my purpose on this planet has been completed. Just like a little, like a 0.4% more every time I hear that. Like, it's incredible thinking that a game of this quality we're reintroducing to generations that have potentially never even heard of it.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. We're about, I think, 8 hours in now. We're going to be completing Deus Ex 1, moving right into Deus Ex 2, and then I'm really excited about getting back into Human Revolution, which I've only played one other time before this. The new one, we're going to do all DLC, all hardest difficulty. I got to say this, though, man. Holy shit. This game is hard.
It's an old game, yeah.
I'm playing on realistic difficulty. It is just that. It is realistic. If there is a sniper enemy and he sees you and he hits you, you die.
Oh, yeah.
And like game over, you're done. And if you didn't save in the last 30 minutes, well then have fun playing that again. Like it is difficult. I'm 8 hours in. I've died over 100 times.
How long is the game typically? You said you're pretty close to finishing, right?
Well, I'm about. See, it's really the game is big. The game is big. It's a game that can take you 20 hours to beat if you're not going through it quickly. And I'm not going through it quickly. I'm taking my time exploring new stuff. I'll just stop playing for a while and we'll talk about like a game design decision or a map or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a little, my playthrough is definitely taking a little bit longer than normal, but I'm probably about 40%, maybe halfway through in 8 hours. Gotcha. I've got a lot more to go. And I've heard that Revision actually adds a lot of content in the second half of the game that was cut. So I don't really know how much longer I have. Huh. But yeah, it's been a real amazing experience to stream this game and have just the Twitch community kind of embrace it. It's been really cool.
This was Warren Spector's first game, right? Or one of his first games?
It was his first major game that really kind of had a mark. Yeah. Another reason I'm so excited to play System Shock 3, because the guy that made this game is basically making System Shock 3 as well. That's the name I got.
That's cool.
And Levine earlier, by the way.
It kind of sucks for, I guess, the PS3 kind of generation, because Warren Spector is working on Epic Mickey 1 and 2 and not something like this, where obviously he's shined really strong. So
yeah,
it's good to see he's coming back.
he said some very interesting things about his time with Epic Mickey.
Well, I'm sure it was a fucking nightmare because I mean Disney's Disney, and it's not that they're hard to work with; it's that they have canonical and licensing
premise
bullshit.
of the project, like making an adult dark version of Mickey. It's kind of like, this may be a little fundamentally flawed. Let's should probably take this back to the
right. Disney's probably very controlling of what message they want sent in a Disney IP. So
I never even played it. Like I didn't either.
I watched.
The only thing that the only reason I would have is because of Warren, and I even unfortunately that wasn't enough for me.
Zeke, did you ever play
this? Answer, it's been awesome. I'm very interested to see how 2 does, because I think a lot of the reasons that I've been getting great numbers with Deus Ex is because Deus Ex is so incredible. But Deus Ex 2, as most Deus Ex fans will tell you, never existed.
Wow, it's bad.
Is that Invisible War?
That bad. Like it is. Imagine an amazing game, and then strip out like 60% of the parts that made it amazing, and then you have Deus Ex 2. Yeah, gotcha. like they had an incredible skill system, this really cool inventory system, all this cool stuff. Dude, it's just gone in Deus Ex 2. Like they just took it out. They took out the leveling system, something that made Deus Ex iconic as a first-person shooter RPG. Just look at chat right now. Wait, there's a Deus Ex 2? Those guys know what they're talking about. Like, don't let them fool you.
Oh my god, you just got hit once by a fucking bullet, you're dead.
Yeah.
I could never play that. That would. This is a waste of time. I'm out. That's what I'd feel like.
Dude, it's totally worth it though. Like, and again, I'm on the difficulty called realistic.
Yeah.
So, and what's also cool about this difficulty, well, I was about to say what's cool about it is I felt like go stop making up games. I remember when I played it before, I remember thinking realistic was like, hey, realistic, cool. The enemies die in one shot too. But something about this playthrough now, no, I shot a guy 3 times in the head.
Yeah.
3 times.
See, that I don't like when I don't like a difficulty where it's like you get shot in 1, but they take 3 headshots. Like that's old school difficulty is what that is.
Like sometimes you can one-shot a person in the head, but sometimes you can shoot them 3 times in their left eyeball, and they're just like, "Whoa, what's up, dude?" And then one-shot you, and it's like,
yeah, maybe it's like a hitbox issue. Who knows?
I don't know.
What engine is this running on, by the way? Is this?
I have no idea. It's an old engine. I believe it's the same engine. They just like completely like gutted and redid it for the revision. So I honestly am not sure.
It's probably got a name like Bob's engine or something like that.
Well, I was gonna say it looks kind of similar to the Q2 engine, but I don't think that's right. Also, your bolt just hit that thing while you're trying to kill.
Yeah,
that was great. Great.
What you're watching right now is me experimenting with the tranquilizer dart, which by the way does not immediately put someone to sleep. You hit them, and then the poison has to work.
Oh, it's Unreal. Okay.
Yeah.
This is UE1.
Oh, it's UE1. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Unreal Engine 1, which is.
I know. Revision made a bunch of changes though, so I'm not sure if it's the same one. Like you see him, that guy now is actually running off, and every few seconds he's going as the poison's working his way through his body, and then he falls over.
Is this the first level?
Yeah, this is the first.
I think I've seen someone play through this. It might have been that Warren Spector playthrough where he played through it himself. That's why I've seen this.
But the thing with Deus Ex, man, that even to this day, just I absolutely love the dystopian atmosphere. Like the fact that they base everything in this game off tangible, realistic conspiracy theories. It's incredible to hear some of what this game talks about, and then you think about what's going on in our world now, and you're just like,
sure.
Like it's wild, man.
You're trying to explode that box?
Yeah, I was doing all sorts of testing in the first level because I didn't know what revision changed, so I was like specifically doing weird stuff to see like what worked and radiuses of explosions and stuff like that. Like what you're looking at right now is a group of terrorists bombed the Statue of Liberty, so that's the memorial of the head of the Statue of Liberty, and they've turned the rest of it into like a museum. So it's like all this, and then you find out why it was bombed, and it was like this whole back alley like deal between these 2 U.S. government organizations. I mean, I eat that stuff up. I love story. I love fiction based on like real world stuff.
Right,
it doesn't get better in my opinion.
Alternate reality type shit.
Yeah,
cool stuff. Anything else you've been playing on your stream?
Hitman, Deus Ex, Culling. What did I play before? Finished Stardew. Finally finished Stardew.
There's an end to that game.
Yeah. Well, at the end of year 2, Grandpa's spirit shows up. Spoilers, he's dead. he shows up and kind of grades your farm, and I ended up getting, I think at the time, like the highest grade. So the second I kind of realized that, I was just kind of like, oh, and there goes my reason for playing. Like, kind of sucked. Like, I just done this huge farm, like revision, like switched out all these things and like completely rebuilt the inside where the crops were, and just planted the spring crops and stuff. And then everyone in chat was like, yeah, you're done. Like, you did it, Co. And I was just like, oh.
That sucks.
Were you sad? Did you not want it to end?
I was sad.
You got a lot of time out of that game, though. I mean, everyone gets a lot of time out of that game.
No.
Let's see. How long was it open on my computer? Stardew Valley. 117 hours.
I was going to guess 200, so that's... Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that I loved it. Any game that you can have, like, real control over a base building element, I'm sold, man. That's one of the reasons I think my chat has been telling me pretty much every day for the last 2 weeks, you have to play Factorio! And I'm like, I will probably get around to that someday.
I've heard that game is like, I'm trying to think of it's like a fucking intense version of like SimCity, like down to like the smallest fucking details is what I've been told.
Yeah.
And so if you're into that type of stuff, it's great. But if not, then stay the fuck
I do.
away.
I mean, I played Cities. Cities was really fun. And, I like that kind of thing. I was watching Giant Waffle play some Factorio, and oh my God, dude. He had,
It
like,
looks
this
really intense.
Crawling conveyor belt system and like all this different shit. And then he spent like 3 minutes traveling across the map on a train that he built. And he's like, yeah, this is where we're going to set up our alternate city. And I was just like, what the hell, dude?
And there's co-op too. Yeah, I saw Lyric and Shorty playing together in the same world. They were running around together. So there's some sense of co-op to it. I don't know what that actually is, but yeah. I haven't played it yet. I probably won't. That's totally not my type of game. That's why I didn't play Stardew as well. But apart from all the shows and stuff, I started playing Final Fantasy, and I don't know if I'm going to do... we talked about this before. It's like 460 hours to do every Final Fantasy. I don't know if I could ever do that. The only way I could do is if I maybe do 2 a month, which if the rumor is to be believed that the game's coming out on September 30th, I might be able to... No, September 30th for 15. Which it would be possible to do, but I don't know, man. The other thing, too, is I've never played the original Final Fantasy. This is Final Fantasy Origin, which is the PSP re-release. There's so many re-releases in this fucking game, or this fucking series. But I've never played this. I didn't realize, this game's fucking deep for being that old. For being an RPG that came out around, 87, I think the year I was born, this is a stupidly deep game.
Wait a minute, who am I?
You're the monk. You're the monk.
Okay, I'll take it.
See, the thing with the monks too, they do some.
You got a name, Z.
Am I an ass kicker?
No, not at the start, because monks suck at the beginning of the game. But now I'm level 16 in game, and they're really strong. The funny thing is everything in this game was basically ripped off from D&D, from the first Dungeons and Dragons rulebook. Every mob that you fight in this game is some version of a D&D character or a D&D monster. Through the entire game, I fought Hill. They rename them though. So Hill Gigas is a hill giant, and it looks kind of like a D&D 1.0 giant. And there's I just fought a vampire, and the vampires do exactly what they do in D&D, where they can stun you. There's a cockatrice who stuns you on hit, turns you to stone on hit.
Well, JP, you know the guy that originally made D&D consulted on Final Fantasy.
Did he really?
No, I'm totally bullshitting.
I was going to say, I would totally believe that. I would totally believe that Gygax was a part of for some reason went over to Japan and was part of the developmental team. Now,
on a serious note, there have been, definitely not the first to see that. And I remember when I first heard of the Final Fantasy series, actually people told me that it was like D&D. It's like turn-based D&D in a video game. And
even the spell system is similar in the sense that as you level up, so there's no mana in this game. They weren't on an MP system yet. So I don't know when that's introduced, but you have spell slots. So you can cast 1 Cure 1 at level 1. And then at level 4, you can cast 3 Cure 1s at level 1. And it goes all the way up to level...
D&D.
Yeah, you can go all the way up to level 9 spells. And a red mage can only go to level 5. And a monk, I was saying earlier, Zeke, monks are best when they have no gear and no weapon equipped.
That's what people were saying. You're naked
style
for most of this.
Yeah, you have no weapons or anything at all after level 5. And you do super well. Warriors, on the other hand, just like in D&D, are very gear dependent.
Do I just fucking like awkward people to death?
No, you just punch them. You just fucking punch and kick them.
Hey, take a look at this. And they're like, oh.
You just punch and kick them.
Hilgigus ran away.
The really weird part too is realizing that like you have to talk to pretty much everyone in this game, kind of like you did in a lot of the other Final Fantasies. But if you don't talk to everyone, there's nothing guiding you to anywhere in this game. Like in the second town you visit, you get a boat, and you can pretty much go all around the world in this boat. And there's nothing telling you to go to this other place except for one fucking random guy in the middle of this random town that just says like, oh yeah, if you go get this fucking star ruby, you can give it to the giant, and this giant will let you through this chasm, and then you can go talk to this dwarf and get the dynamite, and then dynamite will like make sure you can pass through this ocean. But none of that's explained unless you talk to like one random NPC, and there's no railroading. So in that sense, I've just been following a guide because I have no sense of just going and talking to everyone over and over. But it's interesting to play the first Final Fantasy. I've never played it, so I don't know if I'm going to play them all, but we'll see. Again, that's like 460 hours worth of games, and some of them are like really bad. Like Final Fantasy 2 is apparently really fucking bad as a game. I've never played it. 3's been completely redone, like a 3D
3
engine.
is amazing.
Well,
Hold
you're thinking 6. You're thinking 6.
I was gonna say it's where I get confused with US and Japan versions.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking 6.
You're thinking 6 with like Terra.
The
and
one
Save
with
and
the
all
mech
them.
on the cover.
Yeah,
with the,
that's 6. Yeah.
yeah.
And then 4 is really good, which is 2 in the US, which is where they go to the moon and stuff like that.
The only Super Nintendo game, by the way, that I have physically smashed into pieces.
Why did you do that?
It was because I got to one hit left on the train boss.
Oh yeah, the fucking Phantom Train, man, it's so good.
And missed 3 times in a row with my characters.
Oh man.
And I had never missed more than twice at that point. I was convinced that the game was broken, so I figured why not break it some more.
Was that did you fuck up the inputs on Saban's suplex? Is that what happened?
No, all my attacks, like it just missed. And then the train did its little AoE thing that it charges up to do, and my whole team died, and I was just like, you know what? And I didn't even press the eject button on my Super Nintendo. I just ripped that shit right out, and I threw it with my little 12-year-old arm right across this room. I just broke on the side of the wall, and then I picked up a shoe and I turned it in little pieces.
Nice. Nicely done.
And it wasn't even mine, it was my buddy's.
Did you ever
For
Final Fantasy 6, did you ever mess up Saban's inputs for like the aura cannon where it just wouldn't register that you were making the like Hadouken movement?
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me all the fucking time, and it'd be against a boss. It'd be like, yep, I just wasted fucking Saban's move. Completely wasted it. I'm going to do 0 fucking
damage. And then you
damage.
lose the fight. And that
it was really frustrating. It was really frustrating.
I still haven't beaten that game.
I've played through it 3 times. I've gotten to Kefka's Tower every time, and I haven't beaten it.
We have to beat that game at some point.
That's why I kind of want to go from this to 6 just to beat the game. And 6 is also like beloved by everyone, so everyone would check it out.
I would watch that playthrough of yours, JP, and I hate your channel.
Yeah, I've played through it like 3 times, so it might be a little bit boring.
I'd bite the bullet just for that.
Yeah,
just
I
for
would.
One game.
The other thing too that I don't like about 6, and the reason that I never beat it is because I get to Kefka's Tower every time, and I never leveled up other party members in that game. And you get split into 3 parties at the end of that game. And so it was just a fucking nightmare to like get through Kefka's Tower with 3 different parties and 3 different sides of the map where you have to like unlock certain areas and all that shit. I just hated that.
Is that an end game place? I don't even know if I got to that.
Kefka's Tower, that's the final like area. Yeah. But they do it as well when you fight Kefka and Narsh the first time, where you have to like defend. It's basically a fucking MOBA where you have to defend the lanes as Kefka's troops are like coming up in Narsh in the snowy area. And then if they get past you to get to the Espers, then you lose.
Do they do that again at an earlier part in the story?
That's the first time they do that, I think.
Okay.
I think.
I vaguely remember doing something like that, but now that I'm thinking about it, it may have been the first Star Ocean or something. I don't know. Anyway.
It's been a while since I've played a Star Ocean game, so I don't remember. But yeah, I'll probably... this game's only like 17 or 18 hours long. It's one of the shortest Final Fantasies, so I'll be finishing that soon. It's also just really easy to grind in this game. You just hold down X. That's all you just hold down X and everything happens for you. It's great. It's fantastic.
Oh, speaking of that, earlier I was going to mention this, but I didn't get the opportunity. Press X not to die. What is that? I saw it in the chat.
Press X not to die? I have no idea.
No, that doesn't ring a bell with anybody.
Nope. What was
I
in a
saw
relationship
people earlier saying to ask you about it.
To ask me or to ask Zeke about it?
Ask Zeke. People are saying, ask Zeke about Press X to die. Hold on.
Or not today. I have no fucking idea what they were talking about then.
Press X not to die. It's a game on Steam for $4.
Oh.
And it's a ridiculous live action B-movie adventure you will never forget. You wake up to find your town in chaos. Everyone has gone crazy and is just attacking one another. A cryptic message in the secret to survival. Press X not to die. This looks ridiculous.
Oh, it's an FMV game.
Oh, however, of course, as I'm saying that, in the preview comes up Cinnamon Toast Ken. This is the best game ever.
Nice.
Of course. It's the best game ever. There it is.
There it is, yeah.
Jim Sterling, better than Beyond Two Souls.
What? Hold on.
That's
What
a
is
weird
this?
FMV game. I don't know.
Well, if it's FMV, I'm in. I love that shit. I
Came
love
out on
the
October
cheesiness.
9th,
I love it,
2015.
man, I was so into
Kind of hard not to be better than Beyond Two Souls, though, don't you think?
Is it really bad?
It's not the worst. It was very meh. It was very meh.
Is it the most innovative shooter that I've played in years though?
No, that's super
hot.
Yeah. Did you ever play that, Co? Did you ever jump into that?
No.
You need to play that sometime. It's like a 2-hour
Maybe
game.
down the road.
Let me just look at new game releases. There's not really that much coming out until Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 3 is the next big game. And then, out of curiosity, when is the next game after Dark Souls? It's
well, before Dark Souls, if you're interested in Pokemon, there's Pokken Tournament on the 18th for the Wii U, which is the Pokemon fighting game. Probably won't have that much streamed on Twitch, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick that up.
I'm sure Justin Flynn is super hyped.
Yeah, there you go. Justin Flynn's super into that. So Adrift comes out on the 28th. That's an indie game.
Uncharted 4. When is Uncharted 4?
That's May 12th. It's not till May. Adrift is going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be playing that for sure.
What? Wait, a what?
Adrift with a 1 is the I. It's a space-based first-person puzzle game revolving around an astronaut trying to repair a heavily damaged space station orbiting the Earth. It looks really cool. It's also going to be...
dude, look at this. I've never heard of this game.
I think it's also supposed to be a VR game.
Yeah, they're doing demos in VR at E3. I remember.
Yeah, that's supposed to be pretty cool.
Dude, this looks really cool.
What's it called again?
Adrift.
ADR1 FT.
Yep.
An immersive first-person experience. They call it an FPX. A first-person experience.
That's weird.
Tells the story of an astronaut in peril floating silently among the wreckage of a destroyed space station with no memory and a severely damaged EVA suit slowly leaking oxygen.
I think it's supposed to be kind of like if you've ever seen Gravity, it's Gravity the game. Like that's what I got from the trailer. And Gravity was a fucking really intense movie. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good selling point for me, definitely.
And the graphics are really good. It looks really good.
Okay.
I would have bought this right now if I could have.
Yeah. Quantum Break comes out on the 5th, Xbox One only. I think also Windows 10.
Of May?
April. That's the very beginning of April.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that'll actually be out before the US Dark Souls 3.
Yep, by a week.
Cool. Now, what do you guys think of that?
Quantum Break?
Are you guys excited?
I watched, they did some preview event back at the event where they talked about where Windows 10 Microsoft bullshit stole the show or stole the event. But it looks all right. Like I don't know. It looks like an interesting game. There's a lot of like huge actors in it. Like
yeah. It's a TV show and a video game is what they're doing.
So I think they dropped the TV show from it. And I was in one of the preview things that I read, there's like between each chapter, there's like a 20-minute real live action cutscene in between the game. So there's like 4 or 5 of those where it's like 20 minutes of like real live action stuff that's like super super high end produced, and it's supposed to be like a TV show.
Yeah.
And those are like the cutscenes in the games. So that's going to be a weird one. It's from the people that made
Alan Wake.
Remedy. Yeah, Remedy. So it could potentially be pretty okay, but we'll see. I don't know. The gameplay looks kind of weird.
E3.
Yeah, we can bring that up in the end. Dark Souls 3.
The
of
end.
course,
We're
April
2 minutes
12th.
over.
We're 3 minutes over. And then that's it for pretty much everything. Bravely Second comes out as well, April 15th. So the E3 thing, we mentioned this a little bit, but I didn't exactly know everything at the point in time. So Disney Interactive, Wargaming.net, Activision, Blizzard, and EA have all decided to opt out of the show floor at E3 2016, meaning they will not have booths at E3 2016, and I don't think they're going to have press events for the most part there at E3. Those are like
What was the list?
Disney Interactive, Wargaming.net, Activision, Blizzard, and EA. Those are like 4 giant publishers. But,
Jeez.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wargaming's Wargaming, but like the other
So
3 are
it-
massive.
That brings up the next question: is E3 dying?
I don't know. It's
that the end of
changing. I mean, I think highlighted by the fact that Bethesda did what they did last year, and everything else is doing what everything else is doing in the industry. Like, it's kind of changing, man. It's
But isn't like,
I
correct me
don't
if I'm
know.
wrong, but E3 is like one of the, if not the biggest, most watched thing on Twitch.
every year.
It was last year. It wasn't so much E3 as it was Bethesda. Like they
Yeah.
passed
You think that's what it was?
500,000 viewers.
They had
on
500K, yeah.
their announcement. So, but I don't think, to be honest, I don't think any of the others really even came that close.
Really? Okay.
Dude, do you think this is all some big thing about like getting Bethesda's Steam taken out of their sales or something? Like, I don't know, man. That could be.
I don't know.
'Cause there's no question it was a huge success for Bethesda.
It-
I mean, now it's
um,
Fallout 4. Later, it became a massive success for them.
Yeah.
Like,
GameRant.com's reporting that Bethesda is planning on holding another press conference after hinting last year that they might not be doing another one.
Elder Scrolls 6, please.
Well, it says, while fans don't specifically know what the company has on tap, expect to see gameplay for Dishonored 2, Fallout 4 DLC content, and certainly a surprise or two. So they also say they're working on a game that's not Elder Scrolls and not
I gotta
Fallout?
be honest, man. As long as Bethesda's doing their conference, I really don't care. It's like that's all I really care. Like that's the biggest thing that came out of E3 last year, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're not wrong. Like, I can't really think of something that was bigger than. Well,
and it,
maybe like the Final Fantasy news was on. Maybe not the
That's-
same, different type of hype.
different type, but very comparable for sure.
Yeah.
I think Bethesda at one point after they it may have been Todd Howard, but I think one of them was in an interview after Fallout 4, like a couple months after it released, and they mentioned they were like, "So you guys are working on Fallout 4 a lot, right?" And it's like, "No, we got this other thing cooking." I vaguely remember hearing that too. I don't remember the details though, and if anyone in chat remembers for sure,
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
They got
Hold on.
Doom, but I mean that's announced already and everything.
Yeah, the beta is coming up soon too, I believe.
For what? Oh, for Doom?
For Doom multiplayer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the streamable, like the no NDA beta, I think is going to be soon.
Yeah. I've
Here we go.
asked people about that.
Or Husby just linked it. Fallout 5 voice actor lets slip that Bethesda RPG sequel is gearing up for pre-production. Well, no, I don't think that was it. They actually mentioned a new IP.
Yeah, it was a new IP that's not Elder Scrolls and not Fallout,
Yeah,
but it's
not
on the
Elder
same
Scrolls, not
size.
Fallout.
Which is, to me,
Coder 3. Yeah.
to me, that's a billion times more exciting than a new Fallout or a new Elder Scrolls. Just a new thing. I'm always interested in new things rather than.
I gotta say, this is kind of and this is coming from an admitted Fallout fanboy, but Bethesda has said some very interesting things on the critical response of Fallout 4, and I really, really hope they're going to take it to heart for Fallout 5. Like I am a Fallout fanboy, and I had major problems with Fallout 4. Like I am their target demographic, and I was very pissed off about how they handled a lot of parts of Fallout 4.
Right.
So, man, I really hope they're taking it back to the drawing board in a lot of ways. Because if they put out a Fallout 5 and it's less than Fallout 4,
Dude, all they really have to do for me is someone who honestly doesn't care for Fallout much. Just give me a new fucking game engine so it doesn't look like the same goddamn game, and I'll
that
play
was
it.
one of the biggest concerns, man.
Like, I'll
Well,
play it.
The worst part is that not only did it use the same game engine, but it had all the problems from the last games.
Yeah.
That was the biggest issue, man. I mean, like it's getting to the point where it's just like, guys, what do we have to do to make this? Like, dude, I want to see Fallout 5 use like the Pillars of Eternity engine or something. I want to see like some kind of reimagining.
Like, go
of-
real far back.
Yeah, like really bring Fallout back to its roots. Or just use, like you said, use a different engine or fix the bugs they have. But more importantly, choice, a decent tapestry ending, like true decision making and truly having your decisions matter. A combat system that isn't just anyway. We could have no. I'm done. I'm gonna stop before I just.
Yeah, no, that's an entire show.
I'm sorry.
We never did a Fallout fandom. We should, or did we do one of those? No, we didn't.
Nope.
I think it's because like
me to do it, and then we just never did it.
Well, I think I was like wanting to do it, and then I was like, wait a minute, Fallout 4 didn't get that good of a reception. Maybe we shouldn't do it.
You know what? I'm kind of glad you didn't do it because I think it probably would have been more controversial than anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We should do a Fallout fandom right before Fallout 5 comes out.
I would agree. Yeah, that'd be good. This is this just came out at GDC, the Unreal Engine 4 2016 features trailer.
Oh, actually, you know what? Real quick, a little bit of news before we go.
What's that?
The Crytek engine is now free.
I saw. Was that Crytek 5 that they announced is free?
Dude, this is a serious engine with serious documentation support, with a proven track record, and they've made it free. Like, we could see some really awesome games coming out in the next couple years as developers that didn't really have the resources to license these engines before are now able to put their hands around like a serious powerhouse of an engine. Like,
Yeah.
this could be really cool.
Be good. So now, what is the only? Is UE4 free?
I
can just
don't
Google that
know,
and find
but
out.
I would assume it's not.
Is UE
UE4 has always kind of been seen as, or the Unreal Engine in general has always been seen as kind of like.
No, it says Unreal Engine 4 is now available to everyone for free, and all future updates will be free. You can download the engine.
Even with professional licensing.
Let me keep reading. It
Sell
says
a product with it. That's cool though. That's great. I didn't know if UE4 was free.
That was in March of 2015.
Oh yeah, look at chat. Chat is all saying that UE4 is free. Chat, is it actually free if you license and sell a game off it, or is it royalty based?
So it says when you ship a game or application, you pay a 5% royalty on gross revenue.
That's not free.
After the first after the first
free.
3,000 per product per quarter. It's a simple arrangement in which we succeed only when you succeed. So it's five. Let me reread that. 5% royalty on gross revenue after the first 3,000 per product per quarter. $3,000 per product per quarter.
That's
so
cool.
they get paid. I mean, they basically get 5%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that you could create a game for free. That's awesome. But if
Yeah.
you're a serious game development company looking to sell a game, having a royalty based percentage return to the engine developer that's not considered free.
Right. Right.
Unity uses a similar, although Unity, I don't know about 5 changed it. They were license based eventually, but it's still 5% is not bad. I mean, that's great. And it's really good that they're working kind of on like the pro bono lawyer presence almost, where it's like,
Yeah.
we only get paid if you get paid.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
And I think the coolest part about all that is that it is free to jump in and mess around with if you have no idea what you're doing, and you can actually learn how to make a game for free if you want to.
And more importantly, JP, and I've gotten this question so much over the last 6 months because of the Project Resurgence and Hero Song, the games I'm working on.
Yeah.
So many people come to me and they say, "Hey, Ko, I have this awesome idea that I've been working on for years, and I wanted to know if one of your companies is interested in developing it." And every response that I say to them every time is, "Look, ideas are a dime 100, not even a dime a dozen. Ideas are a dime 100. Like, if you want your game, and this goes for everyone, if you want your idea to get out there, make yourself a demo. Like, there's so many tutorials out there. Make a basic ass demo. And now that these things are free, like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, there's a reason why you can't put anything on Kickstarter unless you have a prototype. So
It took me 8 months to make a fully functional RPG in Unity. We're talking like I was able to take that and shop around with it and make the foundation of Nectar Game Studios, which just had a successful Kickstarter. I could do it. And I am not that smart when it comes to programming. If you have a good idea, you can do that too. Like, there's great tutorials out there. They'll hold your hand the whole way. And once you're 80% there, you can finish it off yourself.
there you go.
If Cole can program, so can you.
There you go. All right, let's do some shout outs to get out of here. Ko, why don't you start us off?
Sure. Hi, I'm Ko. As always, a big thank you to JP and Zeke. A huge thank you to my fellow teammate, Eat My Diction. Always a pleasure having his bearded, beautiful face. anywhere near whatever we're doing. My name's Ko. I'm currently playing a Deus Ex franchise playthrough in the morning. Afternoons are different games. Also doing a lot of culling, which is a very fun multiplayer game. Been playing a lot of music on the stream lately too. So if you like loud tunes, rock and electro, definitely stop on by in the evening. Really appreciate your follows and all that other good stuff. And thank you for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it.
There you go. Zeke, do some shout outs.
What up? Let me see those photos in the chat. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. All at Ezekiel_III. Want to thank Ko and JP as usual, and of course, one of my favorite people, itmeJP1, for being here, man. That's always a pleasure. I will be playing, starting up Telltale Month, starting up Walking Dead after this is over, probably at the top of the hour. Might break to get a snack, but we're gonna start at Walking Dead episode 1 today, and we're gonna keep going. However, I will be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I will be in Chicago for C2E2. So check me out on twitch.tv/C2E2. I'll be doing some really cool interviews, playing some really cool games, talking comic books and video games. I might even get to fucking hang out with Cliff Clavin from Cheers, John Ratzenberger. So that'll be a lot of fun. But we'll see you. We'll see you around.
Awesome stuff. Last but not least, Diction, do some shout outs, sir.
Hi, I'm Addiction. Thank you guys for having me on the show again. It was delightful. I'm a variety streamer. I cast pretty much every day now. I think I take like one day off a week. Focusing more these days on single player stuff. So I've got like Far Cry Primal I'm going through. I'm going to do, like I said earlier, Condemned 2. And I want to dive into some old Dreamcast games in the future as well. You can follow me on Twitter. It's itmeJP1, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. My Instagram is completely different because I fucked it up. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. All right. Next week we'll be on Zeke's channel. Don't know the guest just yet. Everyone will be here next Wednesday, right?
Danny Glover, I think, is on the line.
Danny
I thought
Glover.
it was Bruce Willis.
Something like that.
No, Bruce canceled.
Bruce
is
canceled,
a fucking
actually.
prima donna. You wouldn't think he is.
But
Danny Glover was like, shit, I'm not doing
wait,
anything. Fucking right.
Is Jim Carrey next week or the week after?
I think he's in 2 weeks. Yeah. Also, do we know what time Dark Souls launches next Thursday? Because if it's Japan time, it might be launching when we're live on Drop Frames. Because Japan's like ahead, right? So
Doesn't bother me. That's something you got to carry about.
yeah, I don't know. I gotta like figure out if I want to make a PSN account and all that shit.
Oh, I didn't mention it, but I'm going to be streaming some culling right after this. I think Zeke is streaming after this too. Are you doing something, JP and Diction, after this?
I don't think I gotta render these VODs. So
I'm going to take a nap and then stream later tonight. Yeah.
there you go. Does chat have any? It's Japan time midnight, JP. Oh God. I don't know how far ahead.
Go to the time zone website. Yeah.
That's actually probably a good time for Japan's probably like plus
Dude.
11.
Oh, I was going to say get Man on for next week's Drop Frames during Dark Souls.
He's gonna sleep right up until the fucking game comes out. There's no way he would want to come on. Anyways, maybe Dark Souls 3 will be out by the time we're talking next week. Who knows? Regardless, we will be on Zeke's channel, so we'll see everyone then. Have a good one. I'll do my shout outs afterwards. Bye bye.